What is up, crypto hackers? Welcome back to another episode of Hack Crypto, where we hack our cryptocurrency and blockchain education. If you guys are brand new here, what we do on the show is we go through the basics of projects focused on cryptocurrency, blockchain, and NFTs. If that sounds interesting to you, like this video, turn those notifications on, and be subscribed, because we have a monthly giveaway that we do. 2 weeks back, I did an interview with Corey and Jimmy from Uplift World. Now, Uplift World is a fantastic project that is built on positivity, and it's creating this virtual world that is powered by Minecraft and also blockchain. They're leveraging the power that is Minecraft for building, and they have these incredible land plots that you can purchase on Atomic Hub powered by Wax. Now, part of the reason that they chose Wax was because of the microtransactions that are taking place. And it is just a very cost-effective option right now with gas fees where they're at. One of the key factors here is that the team at Grow Your Base, the company I co-founded, is building out an incredible HQ in the metaverse there. So that is not announced yet, the location, still building it out, perfecting it, making it beautiful. A lot of people in the Uplift World community actually found it, and there has been some chatter about that, but we haven't really announced it fully. We're going to do it with some pretty incredible videography and things like that, so we want to hold that back a couple more weeks. And very excited for that. But ultimately, this project is going to be interoperable. There's going to be a lot of cool things going on with the metaverse in the future there. And starting with the basics of gratitude and positivity is something I can really get behind. And I liked the conversation that I had with Corey and Jimmy on their channel, actually, that I'll be linking in the description below. It was a really great back and forth about how they started, where they're going, and really just about the evolution. And I love stories like this, how it started with something called Uplift Art and really has blossomed into this whole world concept and a huge distributed team. And without further ado, let's jump into the pre-recorded interview that I did with Jimmy and Corey of Uplift World. How did you guys initially decide, hey, you know what? I think I'm going to build out this metaverse. I think I'm going to use Wax. Like, how did you guys decide what pieces you were going to put together?
So first, I was born. Sorry, I've been waiting to make that joke for months. So thank you for that. So my buddy Greg and Greg, of course, is the mayor of Chicken Con now, which is funny. We were doing podcasts for years, just small ones, frankly, right? We kind of talk about anything, it was just kind of a random thing. Really small audience, but dedicated, I will say. We wanted to start experimenting doing podcasts and content creation in video games. And we actually started with Fortnite. We're like two middle-aged freaking old guys, right? Basically, like, trying to do an interview in Fortnite was hilarious only because 7-year-olds were murking us every 9 seconds. It was a little disjointed. It's terrible. We're so bad at that game that it's embarrassing for everyone. Anyway, so we decided, okay, well, let's do something that's a little slower. So we like, Minecraft might be interesting, right? And we can get in there and we can film, do audio. There's a bunch of interesting things that we can do there. And when we're interviewing a guest, we can actually have them come in and build something with us. Like, there's some interesting ways that we can experiment there. And when we were spun up a server, we were toying around with it. A friend of ours came in just to the server and was just hanging around and built this gratitude monument. And we were kind of fascinated by that, right? Like, we were moving in a totally different, not anywhere near as cool direction. And, just put a sign up, put a gratitude up. I was like, this is kind of incredible. And something just kind of shifted in my brain a little bit. And so I put up a gratitude. That was fun. And then I built like 2 more monuments next to it. And then I destroyed the hill behind it and put in about 30 of them on pedestals, and just kind of kept noodling around. And we built this entire cathedral around these things. And then every week we had people that were coming on to a live show with us to just watch the sunrise in Minecraft and throw up some gratitudes. And the building got a little bit bigger, and a few more people joined the server, and things are getting kind of interesting. There was something going on, right? And you can still go visit that cathedral to this day. Right, it exists down the Path of Reason. I think it's just west of Cathedral 2.0, where everybody spawns into Old World. And we had to make the new big dome cathedral because the other one's full. Like we literally just filled it up. Gratitude's all over the walls, right? And that actually got us through the first little bit of everybody being in lockdown, right? And some more people started joining the server because they didn't have anything else to do. And I had been talking about duct taping a cryptocurrency to a Minecraft experience for a long time. I knew it was possible, so we could create rewards. We could sort of incentivize things in the game and have just like a cryptocurrency attached to the gaming experience, right? And I'd actually talked to a bunch of people in the space about that. It was like a little bit of interest, nothing real serious, right? So then I started working with Blue. We did that I'm Not the Bubble tune together. Did a big, huge drop with Uplift Art, raised like 30 grand for Haitian Roots. And as a musician, like I made $10,000 off that drop, which was like all of my income as a musician for that year. Right. So that was like, light bulbs going off like crazy in my head. Like, this is, wait, what? What just happened? And so, I was really close with, the Uplift Art team. It's how I started hanging out with Jimmy. And, we realized that as we start protecting things in our Minecraft server, you create regions around it, and that means nobody else can build there. That was, a very important step for us. And then we realized that we could actually update the database on our side for who owns what region based on an NFT, right? And once that became clear, it's like, well, why don't we just create worlds where people can actually own the NFT and have permanent build rights, there or whatever. And so like we started testing that idea out and realized it was totally possible. And ultimately ended up talking to a bunch of projects and giving them some free land in Genesis. And that, just started the cycle of people kind of getting to know that, okay, like we can go in and build in this place. And, there's a bunch of different things we're going to be able to do with it. We're going to be able to have neighbors. It's going to be persistent, and that really caught on, right? So, by the time we actually got around to doing our first little sale, everybody had kind of caught wind of what we were doing. And we sold out really quickly, which again was just a signal to us that like, okay, well, we're clearly onto something, right? And and Sandbox is a perfect example of that, right? Like that, and Decentraland, like there's this need for this kind of experience, or deep desire, and we're really excited about our iteration of it. We just got to pull Minecraft off the shelf. It's got gazillions of gamification building layers that are really accessible by everyone, and there's a bunch of different things that we're going to be focused on how to bring that experience outside. It's something we affectionately call punch sign get thing, which is a terrible name. Like we should really come up with a better name for this. But what we're going to be doing, like basically you'll be able to put up a sign, on your grow your base lands, which you should definitely tell me where they are. And I'm so excited that you guys are doing this in secret. That's so fun. Oh, yeah. But you'll put a sign up, right? And people will be able to use it as a button, right? It'll basically say as a potential, like, punch the sign and get an NFT or whatever, right? And what's going to happen is at Uplift events, the Wax account, it's going to publish that as like basically an on-chain event, right? It'll have their user ID, and it'll have their Wax account. It'll have where the sign was. And it's basically a way to lift experience out of our, metaverse layer out into the real world. And we're not going to dictate what that is, right? We want projects to play around with this and come up with ways to do it themselves, right? And this is just sort of proof of concept to start figuring out how to take experiences that people are having in the Uplift and let companies and projects and people figure out how they want to map experiences outside to it. So.
Nice.
And the main reason we were on Wax, I actually talked to Engine before working with NBlue and Uplift Art. I had talked to Engine about their system, and the second I found out on Ethereum, I said no, because we're microtransactions is going to be how this really takes off in my view, and there was absolutely no way that Ethereum was going to be able to scale that, and I still don't believe they can. So, and then I started working with NBlue on Wax, and it just became obvious, right? And of course, we just dropped 1 million NFTs in the course of 30 hours, proving that you can do some real damage over here. Yeah. That said, we are chain agnostic. I had an hour-long conversation already this morning with our CEO about creating a world specifically for Binance Smart Chain and for Polygon, and we're going to have the Upliftium that people are going to start earning in their back office relatively soon, is going to be withdrawable as an NFT. And we're talking about, obviously we'll be able to withdraw those to Wax and, put them on the market, buy, sell, trade, do whatever you want to do with them there. But you'll be able to withdraw them as NFTs to the Binance Smart Chain and to Polygon and ultimately to Ethereum as well, if you want to. And on the back end, you'll be able to buy those, NFTs from those chains, whenever you want with Ethereum or Binance or Matic or whatever, and bring those back into our system as Upliftium. And I think this is like, we're fast tracking this. This is all going to happen a lot faster than we thought. So we're officially chain agnostic, but we started with Wax because we were already all there, and because they can handle microtransactions at a really amazing and cheap throughput.
That's right.
Right. And I think it's really interesting when you throw NFTs in the mix, because like NFTs are kind of like the alpha of blockchain, but potential alpha of blockchain congruency with all of these different blockchains, right? Like, and I think that might actually be the one that's going to crack the code, because very soon you're going to be able to burn an NFT on Ethereum and have it pop up on Wax, right? Like you're going to be able to burn an NFT on Wax and have it pop up on another place, right? So like this actually, depending upon like the atomic assets and these other, great NFT platforms, this could actually potentially be a better, transfer mechanism than like P tokens, for example, that they're doing with currencies, right? Because instead of like depositing into a contract and like worrying about it, what you do is like you burn it into a contract that automatically releases that same NFT on another chain, right? And that opens up a whole new world of possibilities, right? Like you could potentially do that multiple times in a day to have access to multiple blockchains. I mean, that's potentially possible, right? Like, I don't know how to do it, but, and it's kind of like and it's kind of overkill too, right? But like, right? But the possibility is there, right? Like you can map these things in new ways that like a lot of really smart people are just trying to figure out. So I'm excited to see what happens in a year or 2 years, like not only with our project, like in the next 2 months or 3 months, but like, like you said, somebody's going to crack this code, and probably multiple people are going to crack this code in different ways that are just going to blow this space like up, right? Like it's going to be nuts, right? And this is like, I like the Binances of the world, right? Like, because they're looking at this kind of idea, like these second layer solutions, these integrations, these things like this, right? Like Wax is pretty good. Like, even Telos, shout out to them, because like, they're out of the EOS-IO space, doing their own thing. They're getting listed on all of these exchanges. They're doing these things that they weren't doing for so long because they were held back by like the EOS mainnet and Block One and all of this other stuff, and they had this bad vibe. And I think it's going to be interesting because like Cosmos, right? Like it was on Ethereum as well, right? Like Solana, I think it was on Ethereum as well. Like Link was on Ethereum, and now all of these like projects, Link still does, but all these projects now have their own mainnets, right? Like Icon, Nano, all of these like bull market projects that ported away from Ethereum that are trying to beat Ethereum, I think are kind of realizing that they're having difficulty doing that because it wasn't as easy as they thought it would be. So now they're all looking at like, okay, how can we like bridge back to Ethereum, right? Like how can we like better Ethereum, right? And so like, how long does this last before they start bridging to each other, right? And we've seen like different projects do it.
That is it for my interview with Uplift World, and it was a fantastic time talking to them about the story there, how things came about, and really just where things are going. I'm really optimistic about Uplift World after talking to them. I think that there's a lot of really cool things that they're working on and having quite a big stake in their metaverse. It's very cool to be building out there, seeing what's coming, seeing the community, and just the positivity that everybody's really driving home. I like that. Crypto needs that. There's a lot of poisonous activity going on in this space, very tribal space as it stands. So it's cool to see this Uplift community coming in, focused on positivity and gratitude and things like that. And at the beginning of the interview, Corey goes up to a gratitude wall and puts a piece of gratitude, thanks me for coming on their show. And it's just a really great vibe. And I think that it's worth your time to check it out and just to see, you know, what they're working on and building out. And ultimately, they're going to have a metaverse that is interoperable, building out across all these different chains and just starting on Wax. You know, you got a lot of projects that start on Wax because it's very inexpensive and a very low barrier to entry. And ultimately, their land sale was such a success that they have the funding now to make that happen. Like I said before, if you guys like these crypto educational videos, slap a like on this video. All the links to Uplift World, as well as their land sales that have taken place on the secondary market, will be linked in the description. Slap a like, and I will see you guys on the next episode here on Hack Crypto.